morning, everybody. Got the crew behind me. There's Parker. He's doing great. He is really coming along. I can kind of go like this now to him, and it'll pique his interest, and he'll come over to me. I'll call his name. Watch, he's not going to do it now. Parker! Parker! Yeah, see, he shook his head no. Parker! Hi, baby. He is just growing by leaps and bounds. He's just adorable. Clyde is hungry. He's going to be eating soon. I know, sweetheart. Don't put your nose through there. Don't put your nose through there. Let's go over here. We got this past weekend, Mr. Blue Jeans and I don't know if you can see the cords out here, but we are running some cords until we get our solar setup here at the donkey corral. What's the solar setup going to be for? Well, first it's going to be for us learning how to work with it, which is great. We have a very small solar panel for our gate system that's just wonderful. One battery, one panel, works great for the gate. So now what we'd like to do is get the warmers for their troughs on solar power instead of hooking up at Gigi's house and having 120-foot lines going from here to there. Fortunately, we were able to find a 120-foot cord, so that worked out well. I don't like adding extension cords together when they're outside. Freaks me out in the house, but let alone outside. I don't want to have to do that. So that's kind of next on one of the smaller things that I'm hoping we can get done during the winter time is get a panel installed and a couple of batteries hooked up to run the warmers. That would be great. I'm going to run up to the farmhouse in a minute, so I'll take you up there with me. Just kind of general talk this week of moving forward. Gigi's gutters should be happening tomorrow. That's an exciting movement because gutters mean water. And water in a cistern by Gigi's house means eventually water in Gigi's house. So that's exciting. I'm not going to know what to do with those funny little things that you lift up on the faucet. It's very weird. So let's head up to the farmhouse. I've got something kind of exciting to share with you there as well. And I'm going to hop on Olive and meet you there. So I decided that I'm going to take some of our donkey manure because we have a healthy dose of that and put it up here with the fledgling orchard, just the little orchard in front of the farmhouse here. These are, right now we just have apples and pears, but there's a lot more in time that I'd like to plant. As a matter of fact, down our drive, I'd like to have it lined with cherry trees because there's nobody in this family that doesn't love cherries. So I thought I'd just start a pile up here. I don't have a manure or a pallet composter built up here yet. That's okay. I imagine in time, what I plan to do, right where the Jeep is at, is that's going to be the herb and garden and the dog herb garden. And I think probably somewhere over there I'll put a pallet composter. It won't be the big 4-section one that we have down in the big garden. It'll just probably be a double one, and then I'd be able to take care of any manure or composting things that we need to do closer to home. In permaculture, they teach you zoning, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Saves steps that, like closer to home, I'm going to have the herb garden because I like to cook daily with fresh herbs. You have your composter close enough. If you're doing it right, it doesn't smell. And so far, I've been very lucky. Only once in Wisconsin, when it was super rainy and then it got hot, was there an issue. Other than that, I've never had a problem with composting. So anyway, you have these things close to you. Let's say you go get your chicken eggs every morning like I do. You'd probably want that closer than walking as far as I do, but we have ours set up like that for a reason. Anyway, so it made sense to have another composter up here at some point to take care of the things up here. But for right now, because I'm sort of full at the end down there, and I am hoping I can at least rent a tractor next spring to get the area cleared out to make the garden bigger, I thought I'd just start a pile up here. It can't hurt anything. I mean, so I'm going to start a pile of the donkey manure up here. I'm going to start taking care of that with my trusty pitchfork. We'll get that done, and then I'll take you inside and tell you about the next phase in the farmhouse. So here we are in the farmhouse. No, nothing much has changed. And that's okay, because we've gotten a lot of other things done. We're still working on the guinea coop expansion, which I think should be done Thanksgiving weekend, and I've been filming the whole thing, so you will be able to see what we did, how it's going, and future ideas we have about one more expansion on it. We'll have quite a few guineas. We have determined that we really like the birds. The sound doesn't bother any of us, which is kind of interesting because I thought for sure there'd be somebody here who just thought, oh, I can't take it, but we all appreciate what they do so much, we don't notice the sound. So we will be expanding one more time after this build, and then that should take care of the whole farm. Shouldn't be a problem. And then at that point, I think I'll have to sell eggs because these guys are prolific. So as you can see, there's not a whole lot of change, nothing going, nothing up my sleeve. I still have my areas of where I want to have the electrical go in, which hopefully is coming maybe by spring, because Mr. Blue Jeans and I have been able to save and make the interior framing and insulation happen. And once that happens, we can drill the holes and start wiring. I am ecstatic. I am so glad. We'll just come up here and kind of camp out in the faux living room area with our couch and just sort of look out the window and chit chat about things to come. And that's sort of what we were doing with this weekend when we wanted to just discuss what's next, because we had saved up enough to do the next phase, and that's what it is. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Slowly but surely, the farmhouse moves forward. Now off to go take care of those guinea hens and the chickens. Before I head down to take care of the livestock, I wanted to show you this crazy setup we have here. We have 4 of these. They were pickle and olive barrels that we picked up, and I'd like to pick up more in time. I read recently that donkey manure makes a great compost tea, and I have sort of a fascination with compost tea. I think the idea of it sounds great. If anybody out there is familiar with using compost tea, let me know what you think about it. I don't know that the time involved is going to pan out of it being something to do. I don't know, but I want to give it a try. So if anybody has already experimented with some type of compost tea made from manure, let me know what your thoughts are on doing that. But I just wanted to show you, here's our little setup we have here off the roof of the farmhouse. We had the snow and the rains and all of that recently. We have the same thing on the other side, another barrel like this. We don't have the other buckets over there because we sort of run out of buckets. Yesterday, Mr. Blue Jeans and I spent a good portion of the day loading all of this into a truck and heading down to load the IBC, and we have one IBC filled to the brim with water. Let me tell you, that was great, because I have one IBC down there completely empty, and the other one was about 3/4 empty. So just with what we caught with the rain and the snow runoff, we were able to completely fill that IBC. And I even grabbed the ice. Mr. Blue Jeans had tossed the ice on the ground. I busted up and grabbed the pieces and threw them in another barrel that we have down there. Not in the IBC, but in another one of these barrels that we have that's terracotta color, just to save the water. So that was a great moment in time. When I can save water, I will. And I just wanted to share with you our really fancy, well-crafted and engineered setup that we have here before I headed down. All right, let's go for real this time. Wanted to give you guys a quick glimpse. You can see all the wood and construction stuff here for the expansion that we're doing. With only full Saturdays pretty much to be able to work on it because of Mr. Blue Jean's schedule, the process is slow, but we're here the rest of our life. So it is what it is. But here's kind of where we're at right now to give you an idea of what we're doing. I got some awesome tin cutters that I will showcase in the film that I'm doing about this expansion. Probably the best tool that we have to date are these tin cutters. They cut the wavy kind of tin, and oh my gosh, it was just amazing. Wait till you see. You'll just see they cut right through it. There's a little learning curve to it, and just like any other tool, every once in a while you kind of get hung up, but I got to tell you, it sure beats using cutters. Tin cutters would have killed me because I'm the one. I got to do all of this. It was so fun. And having that tool work as easily as it did freed Mr. Blue Jeans up to do the walls and the other things we needed to do. So what you see now, the next thing ahead of us is putting up the roof, and it's going to tilt forward, and then on that side of the guinea hen coop is where we'll have our IBCs. At least that's what I'm thinking. See, on one hand it makes more sense because the garden is over there. I'll turn this way. So the garden is over here. So it makes sense to have the IBCs on that side. However, the sun is over here. So it makes sense to have the IBCs on the sun side during the winter time. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to do yet. There's always something. But in any case, we'll take care of that after we get the roof up. The roof will also be tinned, and then eventually, as you see this here, it's going to double in size out this way, and then that's that. This whole coop will be its full size, and as far as we know, that's not going to get expanded again after that. But the next expansion won't be for a bit. I think probably maybe 2021, certainly not right now. This is plenty for right now. So I'm gonna go get the kids fed, and we'll continue on our week of doing things around the farm. Here's that other barrel I was telling you guys about, where we put the ice. The ice is all melted, so that's great. And there is sun here, so maybe I put the IBCs more along here, because see how close it is to the garden? Otherwise, I'd have to go all the way from this side, and then we want to double the coop. Yeah, I think this is going to be the side. I think I just answered my own question. Because if it's doubled, then I even have that much further to try to transport the water. And we would just be using some type of a solar pump. I'd rather have it closer, since the garden is going to start where it starts here and head out past the composters there. So, yeah. See, when you kind of just talk it out loud, look how you guys help me. I love this. You just talk it out and you figure out what you're going to do next. All right, you guys. Are those saddle feathers? I don't know. I sort of feel like Bittersweet's a boy. She towers over everybody. She fights with the guineas. She protects the crew that's in here. The good news is, if Bittersweet is a boy, you can see right now we're making friends. But I don't know, I think, and then we've got this here too. We've got these bumps here. I don't know if you can see that. Would that be a spur coming soon? Help me out, guys, because I'm still calling her a she, but she looks so much like her dad, it's crazy. So I guess we'll see, huh? I don't know if you can see better from here. Maybe she's just a spitting image of her dad, and that's that. You let me know. I'll let her know.